when it comes to drawing the thigh muscles, I'll say it's easier because the muscles are bigger, more distinctive. The shapes are easier to see. But the tiny issue is that there are quite a few muscles to learn about. So we'll go through them one by one, starting from the bones and then the muscles in the front view, back view, sides, medial view, and then do some practices at the end. Before we go into it, we need to look at the actual bones itself. What does it look like? So starting from here, this is the pelvis, this is the femur bone, one of the longest bone that we have in the body. There's a patella bone over here, which is like the knee area. Then we have the tibia bone, the fibula bone. So we could see over here the pelvic bone, femur bone, patella bone, tibia bone, and fibula bone. The muscles in the front side are over here. There are a few other tiny muscles in this area, but then I just disregard them. I don't think they're really important for now. Let's start from abductor muscles. So abductor muscles connects from here. This area is this thing over here. This tiny area over here of the muscle. It comes here to the medial side. Sorry, so medial side is the inner side. The lateral side is the outside. Okay? The medial side of the femur bone. What it does is that it helps move our leg from, let's say, this to this. Like going this way. Okay. Then we have let me add the colors to it too. Yeah. Next one on the top is the muscle I'm currently focusing on too. It seems like every part of the body I'm saying that, oh, I'm working on this, working on that, but it's one of the biggest muscle that we have, which is the quadricep. Quadriceps has four muscles within it. There's the vastus lateralis. It comes out from the middle, roughly the middle of the femur bone to the patella bone. There's the intermedialis and the medialis goes from here. Something like that. And then we have on the top, we have our rectus femoris over here. Let me use probably deeper blue. It comes out from here all the way down to here. Here we go. Here. Okay. Then the next muscle we'll talk about is, we did these already. Sartorius muscles. So sartorius muscles comes out from somewhere here too. It goes out this way, behind the medialis muscles, and all the way down to the tibial bone. It sort of shapes the thigh pretty well in terms of, you will see some people draw, when they draw a thigh, there's this line over here, this line over here, and then that's the pelvis regions, like that. There's a muscle over here that you don't really see it, but that's a muscle that shapes this area and that area apart. And then finally, well, not finally, we have two more. One more muscle is called gracilis muscles. It starts, I think, roughly here and it goes down, maybe. Yeah, again, behind sartorius muscle, behind the vastus medialis muscles, and same attaches to the tibia bone. The importance of this is that when you see, let's say if a person is squatting, like that, like that, maybe like that, and then like that. You will see this kind of structures. It's like this thingy over here. That's the gracilis muscles. So you will see this, and this is where the external genitalia is. And finally, we have our tensor muscles. Tensor muscles is over here, comes out, and then all the way to the side, combining with glute muscles. If I adjust this a little bit more, then we will see the outline of the muscle looks like this. So we will have our gracilis muscles, the either sartorius muscles or the vastus medialis muscles coming out over here to the patella bone. We have our rectus femoris muscles coming in from the middle side. And then we will have, sorry, this should be top, a little bit top, like that, like that. Sorry, like that. That's the vastus medialis muscles. And then we have our tensor muscles coming out, the sartorius muscle I talked about, a little bit of a glute muscles coming in into the side of it. And then that's our external genitalia, and then like that, and then it goes here, 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 and then here. That's our sartorius muscle, tensor muscles, the rectus femoris, the vastus lateralis, the knee part, and then coming down to our lower leg. So that's the front view. Going on to the side view, or no, sorry, back view. Back view of it, we will see a few muscles over here. We're looking at this character from this side. Starting from the abductor muscles. Abductor muscles comes out roughly here to the middle side, like that. Then we will have our hamstrings. Hamstrings are a combination of three muscles, but basically they just start roughly here, and then I think one comes to this side, coming down to tibial bone. The other two, so there's two muscles coming here, comes out to the lateral side of the tibia bone. Did we add muscle here? Yeah. Quite a lot of stuff, but 2 seconds. That's the hamstring muscles 1, hamstring muscle 2, and there should be bicep. Well, yeah, bicep. So 1, 2, and then the one maybe. Well, sorry. So two of them are coming into the medial side, and then one of them coming out. Sorry, that was my mistake. Sorry. So two of them coming out. I think that's this one on the side is the bicep femoris over here, and the other two is coming to the medial side. I think that's what it's showing right here. Yeah. And then you will see the calf muscle, so gastrocnemius coming out from the femur bone out, which we will talk about in the calf muscles right here. So we will see this muscles here. And then finally, we will have our glute muscles, the big glute muscles over here. It starts from here, here, out, and then to the front. There's the glutes maximus, glutes intermedius, and then, or glutes medius, and then glute minus. But basically, it looks like deltoid muscles coming out, coming in, like that. The tendons goes here, 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 something like that, and then this is one of the tendons called iliotibial tract. Yeah, so that's the iliotibial tract over here. And then that's the glutes major, glutes medius, and then another one, I think it's beneath here. When it comes to the fat depositions of this area, you would see some fat sitting here. It could be here, or it could be adding to us here, giving the curviness of the hip. So if we draw out the general outline of this area, then it will look like this. So that's the fat. That's the we have our lat muscles coming in to here. We have our external oblique muscles maybe coming to here. Bit of bony structures. And then we will have our curviness from our fat. Curviness from our fat, and then maybe a little bit of, that's the bottom of it. Then maybe a little bit of abductor muscles. That's the hamstring coming out like that, and then we will have our calf muscles at the bottom, something like that. Yeah, something like this. Then we are the other side. That's the glute muscles. These are the other muscles at the bottom of our body. So these kind of muscles. The hopefully 2 seconds. Yeah, these muscles here. The pubic muscles. Here, so those are this area, and then coming down here, and then the other side. That's the gastrocnemius, the side of it, and then we will have this, something like that. Okay. In terms of the side view and the medial view of it, so starting from the lateral view is here. We're looking at the character from this side. Yeah, this is the side we're looking at. Yes, we are. So what it would look like is that we will have our rectus abdominis coming out to here, the external oblique coming in here, here to here. Maybe you might see a bit of lat muscle coming in like that. Then we will have our, which one should we start? Let's say the vastus lateralis coming out over here. We will have our rectus femoris coming in over here. Then the tensor muscles roughly here. And then we will have our glute muscles back to the medial side. So like a butterfly, and then like that. That's this part is the common, this part, the iliotibial tract, all the way down to tibial bone, like that. Yeah. And then continue adding on to it, which will be our hamstring. Hamstring is behind the glute, and then coming out the lateral side, coming down to the tibial bone, maybe the other side too. We have our calf muscles starting from the femur bone. I think that's basically it, right? And then a little bit of stuff here. So if we draw out the general outline of it, it looks like this. So hopefully you could see it though. 2 seconds. Let me change the color. Yeah, Let me make it bigger. Here. So glutes, muscles, hamstring muscles, the calf muscles. We have our abdomen. We have our lats. Then we have our, what's it called? Rectus femoris, the common iliac, not common iliac tract, iliotibial tract down here. And then we might see this kind of shape. And then that's the tibia bone. And then with another tendon coming down to here. Something like that. Okay? So that would look like this. How the skin does it look like? Something like that. And then when it comes to the medial side, so let's say there's a character moving his foot outward like that. Then what we will see is this. Starting from the abductor muscles coming out here, then we will have our rectus abdominis coming down to pubic symphysis. Here we have our external oblique muscles coming out. That and that. And then we will have our bigger muscles like, let's start from the medialis, vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris. Oh my God, there's so many words over here. And then that's our patella bone. Like that. Then we have our sartorius muscles coming down to here. We have our gracilis muscles coming out again to here. We will have our tensor muscles coming out and a little bit of glute coming in. External genitalia. So in terms of the combined versions of the overall shape of it, it will look like this. Ooh. Like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. Like that. And then like that. And then you might see the calf muscles starting from here, like that. Something like this. So that's what we will see if we look at a character here, maybe. That's the vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, rectus femoris muscle. This thingy over here, you might not see it, but that's the abductor muscles with sartorius muscles coming out to the tibia bone, and then the gracilis muscles coming out to the tibia bone too. And then if we look at the hamstring wise, that's the glute muscles, iliotibial tract. That's our hamstring muscles coming out to the tibial bone, and then we have the gastrocnemius muscles coming out. Okay, so let's do some practices, and we'll see how to apply these knowledges, not knowledges. All right, so we're gonna start the practice so that we know how to apply these muscle knowledge into drawing the thigh. Let's try to find something. I think the main issue is not about the muscles itself when it comes to drawing the female character. It's more of the attachments. The attachment is pretty difficult over here, especially if the character is doing this random pose. So 1, 2, 3, like that, roughly like that. And then we all have our legs coming out here, and then a leg coming out here. Probably draw it not very good. And then and then like that. Then back side of the leg, the other side of the leg, coming in. Oh, this is not very good. Please don't judge me, okay? And like that. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2. For this part, I think it's not that far. Yeah. For this part, the hip placement is it's a bit difficult, so we need to try to see the perspective within it. So we will have a plane, something like this ish. We're trying to put the character on the top of it. So we will have the like that. So that's our pubic symphysis. The handle of it, the handle of it, and that, and then our femur bone is coming out over towards us. Something like that, okay? We by out. The attachment is starting from here. So here, 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 and then here. Something like that. That's the front, and that's the back, and the other side a little bit. It's coming down, in, and then maybe a little bit towards that way. The side of it, that's the external oblique. The glute muscles coming out, the pelvis, and bit of abdomen. And the hand is coming like this, and then, and then. Oh God, and then. Yeah, something like that. Sorry, this is a bit messy. Uh, this so this will be another attachment issues. I'll see from here, here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the breast tissues all the way down. 1, 2, 3. That's the rib cage. That's our spine. That's our tail wall, sacrum bone. We have our like that. And then our pelvis is over here. And that the leg is connected to the butterfly top. So roughly here. It's coming together. And then something like that. And so her hand is forward. So like that. Her hand is coming towards us. So like that. That maybe not that much. The hip become closer to us. A bit more like that. Cool. Yeah. So if we reconstruct it again, the character will look like this. Her neck, her arms, too. And then that's the pec major. Deltoid. hands, chest. 1, 2, 3. The glute muscle is attaching roughly like that. There's a bit of dip here, coming down, coming front, and then the hamstring muscles, her stomach area is like this, and then like that. That'll be her. That's the the quadricep, the common, the iliotibial tract, tensor muscles, and then the hamstring at the back, and then that's the leg with our favorite foot, something like that. Oh, this is difficult, man. This is a bit difficult. Nice. This will be a good one for us to see the pelvics a bit better. So starting from here, 1, 2, and 1, like that. Yeah. Okay. So starting from the bones wise, we will have the perspective is something like this, because female's pelvis is a little bit anteriorly tilted. It's going something like that. And then we will have our pubic symphysis, the handles coming out, the spine is coming at the back, coming out, in, and then like that. One of her leg is coming down, and then one of her leg is coming a little bit forward, and then going back, and this leg is going straight down. Something like this. So when it comes to the muscle attachments, that will be like that. So we will have our quadricep muscles coming out roughly here, our tensor muscles in the side, our glute muscles coming out to the lateral side, a little bit of abductor muscles in the medial side, and then our, what's it called? The calf muscles at the bottom. And then since if we want to make the character a bit curvier, we can add a little bit more fat to this side so that it will make the curviness a bit more prominent. That's the pelvis region. And then we have the other side. So that's our, what is this? What is this? Quadricep muscles, tensor, glutes, the abductor muscles coming in, and then the leg goes backwards. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Unreasonably much. Nice. This will be a good attachment. Starting from here, the 2, 3. Like that. Then that's our hand. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Probably this way, maybe something like that. And then the leg is coming out that way and this way. So genitalia, like that. So that's the general outline of the character. Going deeper now, we have our pubic symphysis, our handles of the pelvis bone. This guy is coming down. We have our rib cage roughly here. So that's our rectus femoris, our external oblique, the lat muscles, external oblique, the quadricep muscles, our tensor muscles, and then a little bit of our glute muscles coming out. Same for this side. Like that. That's our abductor muscles, sartorius, gracilis muscles, something like that. Like that. Good. Next one. So for this one, we will draw that and then one. And then shape is something like this. So we have our leg coming up, all the way up, maybe somewhere here. Then something like that. Okay, something like this. Then in terms of the bone, it will look like this. That's our handle, that's our spine, that's our sacrum, like that, and then this leg is coming out all the way up to this. And then we have our, that's the fibula bone, tibial bone, patella bone is on the other side. So starting from here, we have our quadricep muscles here. We have our tensor muscles. We have our glute muscles coming out to this side. And we have our hamstring muscles down, our calf muscles here, like that. Something like that. It's really messy. So we have our this bit of this, 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 and then we have our this side. That could be one of the either the lateral side of the the quadricep, or it could be the iliotibial tract. And then we have our hip coming out like that. And then the other side. So we have our tensor muscles coming out, no, abductor muscles coming out, our quadriceps, our hamstring, and hamstring comes here. And then like that, like that. And then we have our foot. Like that, like that. Like that. Yeah. Good. Does that make sense? Hopefully that's just a few practices, mainly just to let you know that the thigh and the pelvis positions and also the muscle attachments when it comes to the thigh regions. If there's any questions or anything that I missed, feel free to comment below. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.